It's a site that any Bulkington resident will be familiar with. And here at St James, we have a large project on the horizon to upgrade the bells inside the tower. We've called the project Lowering the Tone. And to help you understand a bit more about what the project is and why we are doing this, we're going to take you on a tour inside our iconic 15th century tower. Come on, here we go. Our journey starts with a climb up the spiral staircase. And as we go round to the right, the first room that we come to is the ringing room. And this is where we, the ringers, do the physical work to make the bells ring out across the village. But more about the ringing in a moment. I want to show you the rest of the tower first, so let's get back on the stairs. And we next come to a rather empty room with ropes passing up through the floor and up into the ceiling. This is the clock chamber. And we can get a really good view at the rear side of the clock face. Long gone are the days of a wind-up clock with weights and gears. It's been electric for many years, including the chiming mechanism. Well, back out onto the stairs, we continue on up, and then we come to another wooden door. Now this one is a bit more tricky to reach. That wooden door leads to a chamber behind the louvers that you see near the top of the tower. And that's where we are at the moment. And this is the bell chamber. St James has a ring of 8 bells, a full octave, and they're tuned to the key of G. Well, sort of. The tenor, the heaviest bell, is actually out of tune. It's the oldest bell in the tower and is thought to have been cast in the late 1500s. It weighs 1200 weight, or just over half a ton. That's not far off the weight of a small family car. It is one of 2 bells in the tower which are over 400 years old. And because of this, they cannot be retuned. So spare a thought each time you hear the clock chime. It's the tenor that does this, and you are hearing an ancient bell. Well, let's continue on up to the top of the tower, and eventually we reach a little door. And this little door takes us out onto the roof. And I can tell you, it's a bit of a squeeze to get through, but it is totally worth it. The views you get out across the village are quite unique. As you pan around and look over the old vicarage, you can just make out Nuneaton Road there in the distance, Barbridge down the side, and of course some very familiar sights from the centre of the village. When I was learning to ring here as a teenager, I would often climb the tower, and I enjoyed looking out over the village. I'd try to spot my house, and I would never tire of coming up here because I would always see something new, or I'd spot something for the first time. It really is a unique way of looking at the village, and even today I'm still spotting new things and trying to put things in perspective. It offers you that very alternative view of familiar sights, including the 3 spires in Coventry. This is all lovely. But the problems occur when we ring the bells. The ancient English art of change ringing requires that the bells ring full circle, starting from the up position. By holding each bell on or just off the balance point, we can vary the time interval between each strike and change the order in which the bells ring. But the tower at Bulkington moves when the bells are rung, and by move, I mean it shakes gently. Anything hanging in the tower is affected by this, whether it's a coat, a spare rope, or even a picture hanging on the wall. It's done this for years. The bells are no exception. meaning that the bells can be thrown on or off the balance. And because of this, they're not easy bells to ring, and the ringers have to work hard to control them. So the solution is to reduce the weight of the bells and hang them lower in the tower. The ancient 6th and tenor bells will be preserved in the existing bell chamber, and the rest of the bells will be retuned and hung in a new frame in the clock room, along with 2 brand new bells to form a lighter ring of 8. I guess you could say we are, quite literally, going to lower the tone.